And good morning, everybody. It's once again time for your favorite time of Saturday. It's 10 a.m. Eastern. That means it's time for Jedi Academy. I'm Ranger J 1999 from Team Instinct, and this is the show where we answer all your questions that you send in about the game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And of course, joining me on this epic journey is the cast and crew of people you know and love from all over the YouTube world and game world and some worlds that we don't really want to talk about. Like, for instance, Dr. Finn Medicine Woman, the troll extraordinaire, who will be scooping up your questions. He is here today, monitoring chat like he always does, so you know what to do. If you try to get out of line, he'll be all over you. And then, of course, we have the regular cast of crew and members that usually is on, and so let's go ahead and introduce them. Before we do that, just let you know, this is a Q&A show, so basically what happens is you put your question in the chat, and make sure it's in the form of a question, or it says question before the statement, so Finn can recognize it as a question, because sometimes if you just make a statement, we're not sure if it's a question or not, and it makes it a little bit harder to know if we need to answer it. But you put that in the chat, Finn will scoop it up, I will read it out, and then we'll go around the corn, as a good old Grande would say, and get your try to answer the best of our abilities with the top people in the game right now. So let's go around and introduce everybody. Of course, you know him and love him. He's from the Chain of Warrior Present. This is my brother from Team Instinct. Warriors here. What's going on, man?
What's up?
What's going on, partner?
Not much. I had my copy way too early this morning.
I know. Warrior got on. I'm sitting here like trying just to wake up. Like I'm drinking coffee like mad. Warrior gets on. He's just like bouncing off the walls. I'm like, I hate you so much right now. It's like, God. So it should be a long show. Warrior is hyped and ready and has tons of caffeine running through his veins. You are all in big, big trouble. Also joining us, who drinks lots of coffee but is less mellow, is of course Mr. Mike Hunt.
Good afternoon. I'm Tom today. Sorry. So if I'm sniffing, sorry, Tom and Dick, sick. So
we don't speak freaky deaky English here, so
that's
just
why
say
I'm
you're sick.
You. I'm Tom. Yeah.
What the hell? Okay.
It's the London look.
Okay. All right. So you all heard it here. You've all learned English. So that'll be our lesson for learning today. And then, of course, oh, hey, Corey Delamore just said, donate $3. Says, please talk about Thrawn event. Well, we can talk about that before we get going everything. I don't know what you want us to talk about, but we'll talk about it. But thank you for the $3. Much appreciated. And, of course, if you want to donate, there's a super chat function on the bottom where you can donate and support the channel. Also joining us is my young apprentice. She's becoming more evil all the time. Darth Bella.
Yes. More
Guten
evil.
Tag,
More
my
evil.
young apprentice.
I just saw another Padme, and you know that I started as a Padme to play this game, but that was not evil enough. So that's why I changed to Darth Bella.
That's right.
Now you know.
She's so evil when she walks in, people bleed. And then also here joining us is from the Alliance. Hopefully he's there, Mr. Riemann. Riemann, you there?
Hey.
What up, pimp?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what up, pimp?
Not much, man. Just excited to be here. Glad to be on.
We're glad to have you. Always glad to have you, man. What's been going on with you? How's everything in the Alliance?
Pretty good, you know. Just territory battles. Trying to get to 44 stars at some point. We're getting closer every day.
Yeah.
But you know, and besides that, you know, just getting ready for some BB-8.
Oh yeah.
I guess we'll talk about that later too.
Yeah, we'll get into that too. And I think Turbo is here as well. Turbo, you there, buddy? Oh, he says he's driving, but here. All right. Well, Turb, say something when you get a chance, man. I'm gonna see if you
surely will.
Oh well, there you are. What's up, man? Jesus.
Just have to drop the missus off in Manchester. That's all. So,
are you leaving her there, or you have to go back and get her?
No, she's staying over the night. She's on a hen party. So.
What the hell's a hen party?
Female version of a stag.
Really?
Female, a bachelorette party, as you guys say.
Okay. You have to talk
You guys
American English. You
always have to
and
do
Mike
things
are
your own
killing
way.
us today. God. Is it like who's getting married? A friend of y'all's or a friend of hers or
her brother. Her brother. So
how come you're not having a stag party for him?
I had it. It was last week.
Oh, is that why you were all pissed and drunk?
Yes. Very apt word, yes.
Yes. Had a pissa. All right. So we've got everybody here, I think. All right. So let's answer that first question. Because Corey asked, let's talk about the Thrawn event. I'm not sure what he wants us to talk about. When's it coming back? Maybe first off, I don't know if I haven't had time to
check the first question, Ranger.
What first question? Oh, I haven't even got the chance to do that. I just saw that. So let me go look at the first question. Come on, stupid Discord. All right. So he asked, with the AI fix on Thrawn a while ago, do you think the upcoming event will be harder? I have Ezra and Hera at gear 10, Chopper and Kanan and Zeb at gear 8, all with good mods. That's a really good question. The AI fix on Thrawn a while ago.
I believe so. And this is why the event bosses are totally programmed in the game differently than our usable characters. And so what he's talking about is how Thrawn initially, his cleanse and all of that, and how people would just go pop, 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 and do their cleanses nonstop defensively. And so they had to kind of rework him a little bit to where he would prioritize certain uses at certain times, so he works better for us on defense. But the event Thrawn is actually got completely different stats than our Thrawn, and that Thrawn I don't believe will change at all. It's just like why Emperor Palpatine on one of those events can literally hit one of your characters for 150k because he's got 1,000% damage, and your Emperor Palpatine doesn't do that. So to answer that question, no, there's always a differentiation between event character builds and in-game characters, such as like Jedi Rey versus like the Rey that we have in the game.
Yeah, I think if you have gear 10s and good mods, you should be fine. Because people were beating that with just gear 8s last time the Thrawn event came around, if I'm not mistaken. So Corey, I think you're good to go, buddy. But if you have any problems with the events out, I'm sure we'll all be here because I have to get my Thrawn to 7 stars. Do you have a 7-star Thrawn, Warrior? I'm assuming yes, right? You beat it, right?
I was on mute. Yeah, I played it twice. The first time I played it poorly and lost, and the second time I played it a little better and won. I had all my tanks to gear 8, and then my other characters to gear 9 except for Ezra. Ezra was gear 11, and he was really the difference maker. It came down to Ezra and Thrawn living, and Ezra won. Had I not on the last shot hit him, I would have lost. But I also didn't know my Phoenix back then. I didn't know how to play them or anything like that. So to be fair, I was playing really piss poor in comparison to what I would be doing now.
Yeah, I think everybody's got... Go ahead.
If you have a question on the Thrawn event, I know someone who actually has a video on the Thrawn event.
Oh. Well, we'll have to get that.
Might be she's called Darth Bella, so look up my channel.
Who is that?
Yeah, it's an evil person, as we already said. I recorded the level 6, the 6-star and the 7-star of the Thrawn event, and you can see my mods and my gear and how much I upgraded them as well.
There you go. See?
It was not, you need much higher upgrade for territory battles for the Phoenix Squad than for the Thrawn event, to be honest.
There you go. My young apprentice comes through. Very good. Okay, so let's get into BB-8. So BB-8 came out this week or was, introduced. It will take First Order. So they are doing double drops in some of the First Order. Of course, they've been giving out Captain Phasma shards this week. Remon, you mentioned it with BB-8. What are your initial thoughts on him? Did we lose? Remon? Remon, you there, buddy? Okay, I think Remon's in a tunnel or something. That poor guy, man. Oh, God. All right, I'll just throw it out to anybody. Turbo, Mike, anybody. Initial thoughts on BB-8?
Looks more like a raid, resistance raid in for R2. Getting the boosts with the potency and everything, and that's where you'll trigger your 70 cooldown and so on. On the initial stuff, yeah, looks more like he's going to be a raid tune over an arena tune, but that looks interesting. Something for us all to Pokemon.
Yeah. Absolutely. Ward, you did a video of this, and of course I laughed because I did notice the poo reference. His little picture, a big pile of poo. Grande was like, "No, it's not poo." I'm like, "It looks like poo." He's like, "No, it's not." You got to play around. Well, no, you didn't get to play around with him, but you did have them send you video of his gameplay. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Ward?
So I want to actually touch on that for just a second because they do listen to this channel, and so this is my only way to really talk to them because I don't get, an ability to like individually talk to them. So I'm hoping whoever was offended at Capital Games at my video understands they met me and talked to me and know who I am, and I'm not just some dick who makes videos to be a dick. I make videos for the game because I love the game and I'm passionate about the game, and I've always had Capital Games and EA's back. If they do something I don't like, I tell them, but at the same time, I'm the first one to go to defense and tell people they're being stupid when they're being stupid and defend them. And so I'm my own person, but that whole situation where I got the footage and I was going over it, and I don't have perfect vision, but it looked like to me over BB-8's head and then over other characters' heads there was this little, it looked like a little poop emoji that was popping up.
That's what I thought too.
And I wasn't the only one, and I kind of giddy laughed and thought it was kind of funny, and so I zoomed in and everything. Once I zoomed in, I realized it was BB-8's, like the top of BB-8, and so I realized that it was a good graphical art piece, but it's legitimate like feedback. Like if you're the artist and you make that, and people are seeing a poop emoji, wouldn't you want to know so you could maybe possibly make a modification to it, because you don't want your creation, your perfect creation, to be thought of as something like that. And I didn't put the poop emoji over his head because I thought he was shit. I actually think he's a great character, and I said that he was a good character in the video. My whole video wasn't poking fun at anyone. It was just having fun. See, I get accused all the time from everyone, including EA Capital Games, my viewers, everyone, that I'm too serious too often. I'm just all too serious all the time, and that the only time I really relax and have some fun is my live streams. And so with that video, I tried to have a little fun, and I wasn't having fun at their expense. I was simply just having some fun. I thought that they could take a joke, and I was wrong, and so I had to edit the video and make a more appropriate version. But I wasn't putting a poop emoji over. I wasn't putting a poop emoji over his head because I thought that he was shit. That was absolutely the farthest thing from my mind. It was a superficial. The thing looks like poop to me, and so I thought that was funny.
God in heaven.
Also, my title, I put, this is a first fifth look. I was being funny because everybody that's out there on YouTube who watches our videos, the first thing I get is 800 comments that say, you're the fifth person to post the same damn footage. What the hell's wrong with you telling everybody it's a first look? So I jokingly beat all my pundits to the punch and basically said, listen, this is the first fifth look. And then everybody responded with, hey, that was pretty funny. At least you didn't claim it was the first look because, I saw it on Arnold's channel first or whatever. And so people took it for what it was. It was me being lighthearted. But apparently I can't be lighthearted because everybody has skin. So
hold on. No, that's garbage.
And so, I wanted to say, to them that I'm sorry that they took it that way. But at the same time, it's like, I'm not sorry. You know why? Because you guys have way too thin skin. Like, come on.
Big time.
You know me. I hung out with them for 3 freaking days twice, and you'd think they'd get to know me well enough to know I'm not over here bashing them because I don't like them or I think their product's shit or I don't like them personally. I was just trying to have fun, and everybody got bent out of shape. And it disappointed me more than anything because I love the product, I love the people, I've been there and I've hung out with the developers and the game balancers and the artists, and they're all fucking awesome people. And if you've ever heard me in the past, I always say how they're working 6 days a week and working into the night and they're busting their ass. And then I make one little side joking reference that one particular, little thing looks like a poop emoji, and instead of taking it as funny and constructive criticism, they get all bent out of shape and start to kind of, come out of the woodworks about how I need to edit that and stuff. So out of honor to them, not because I had to, but because I chose to, I edited that video and took that out because I didn't want to offend them, and they were already offended. So, it's a shame because again, I thought they knew me. I thought they knew me better than that, and I was just saddened that they were so offended by something I did that was just a superficial joke. But if they're listening, you need to change that icon because I'm not the only human on Earth. Everyone that I talked to thought that it looked like a poop emoji.
I did too. I said it on the Wednesday stream. I'm like, hey, Ward pointed it out, but I'll bring it up. It looks like poo.
So I don't know whoever the artist who built BB-8 and who built that buff. I don't know if they're the same person, but the artist work for BB-8's phenomenal. Like his motions, his movements. He's cute as hell, dude. He's a freaking awesome character.
Yeah, it's a totally different thing.
Want to go in and just like they changed the artwork for the Geonosians because the Geonosians look too damn similar, and the Ewoks, they changed the Ewoks because the Ewoks' arms were too damn long. Like if someone said, hey, the Ewoks' arms are too long, they wouldn't take offense to it. They'd say, oh, you're right, I probably should rework the artwork. But if I say a poop emoji, and I mean, it's like, come on, are you kidding me? So anyway, long story short, I basically just to honor them, to try to show them goodwill, I edited my video and took that out. It was just me having lighthearted fun. I'm sorry they couldn't take it as lighthearted fun.
Well, okay, so CG, chill. Honestly, good Lord. I swear to God. I mean, I find that just ridiculous. And also to the people that are saying, it's not the first someone else put it out. Shut up. Honestly, shut up. I mean, these guys they all put it out because you know why? Not everybody watches the same channel. So if you watch all of them, great. But if they're all taking the time to put out content for you guys, then shut up. All right, if you see it on, if you see it on Warriors, but then you see it on Arnold's, and they say the first look, they're saying this is the first look that they have to see a product. I mean, Sky, stop, man. I mean, honestly, CG, you need to chill out. My God, if you can't laugh at stuff, I don't know what to tell you. Good Lord. I mean, if someone does a poop emoji just because it's funny, I mean, people like that. They like to laugh. I don't know if you're aware of this. It doesn't put down your product or anything. Good Lord in heaven. I swear.
It's actually one of the least disliked videos I've ever done, and I had really rave comments, people saying, hey, that was funny. Hopefully they don't get offended.
Yeah,
it was just
I mean, you got to make the videos.
You were just having lighthearted fun. And then I had to, I didn't have to. I chose to edit my video to honor them because I heard they were upset. So I went ahead and did the edit. And unfortunately, it actually backfired on them because, had they just let it go, I would have got 5,000 views and that would have been it probably, and only 5,000 people would have seen it. But because I had an immediate video come out afterwards that was edited, it was a brand new video, everybody knew that I did something to the old video, so then I had the same 3,000 people who had seen the original video before I pulled it. They saw the new video and realized the little jokes were missing, and they were all offended because they were like, why is he being censored? They felt like I was being censored. Now, to be fair, I wasn't censored. They didn't force me to do that. That was me choosing to do that to honor them because I'm a bigger person. I'm going to do what I feel is the right thing. I don't want them mad at me. I like the product. I don't want to lose my opportunity to showcase their game. I think it's a cool game, but it did make me sad because, again, I thought they knew me better than that, And I'm not going to go into it, but their responses were pretty extreme when it was brought to my attention as to the recourse they wished that I had.
Well,
and so, like I said, I'm not going into that, but I just really sad that, they didn't just go, oh, haha, Warrior was being funny. Hey, dude, you made this emoji. You might, or that you made this this buff. Hey, you may want to reconsider redoing the art and let's force push it in the next, client restart real quick, because, he's not the only one. And obviously it's actually legitimate feedback. If one of their characters looks like something, they probably would change the artwork, and they've proven that time and time again. So I was just like, the whole thing was just saddening to me that felt sad. The need to be offended. They didn't need to be offended. It wasn't anything that was offendable. I was just having some fun. So it just makes a shame, because now I feel like I have to walk on eggshells. And I'm afraid to be funny, because if I'm funny,
just come on here and be funny, man. I mean, good Lord. You know what? We'll do this where you just put out the videos and you come over here and just be yourself. If that's what it comes down to. I mean, that's madness. God in heaven.
Do you reckon the artist that redid Chirpa had like 10 espressos just before he did it?
Who knows? I mean, I don't know. I mean, but so
I think that's also a kind of male and female view, because all the females playing this game commented, "Oh, how cute!" and that was the only comment, and no one saw a poop emoji. It must be the guy. Really, I just heard, "Oh, how cute."
Well, yeah, he's a cute droid. I mean, that's why Force Awakens was so popular, is because BB-8 was one of the. I mean, he was a character unto himself.
First thing I said on my video was, he's adorable, he's cute.
Right. But let's get okay. So we've talked about that. I don't want to dwell on that. I'll get angry. So having seen his, we talked about his kid on Wednesday. Where do you see him, Warrior? We'll go around, anybody wants to chime in too. But with his kit, where do you think? I don't think he's going to be arena viable, but I do think for territory battles he's going to be a big plus. What is your thoughts on that?
I'm trying to level up all the characters in the developer account. So basically what they did was we took alt accounts. Like I had an alt account that I was playing with, but I got tired of playing 2 accounts. And so they said, put your alt account on a special server and we'll, create it into a developer account so you can unlock all the characters. And the only downside is I have to actually gear them all up and everything. And I know even with an unlimited account with unlimited crystals, it takes an entire day of maxing all energy and everything to get one character to gear 11 or gear 12. And so I can only do one character a day, and there's 130 characters in the game, so think of that. That's like a third of the year. That's like 4 months or whatever to level all the characters up. So it's going to take a while, but I'm trying to get resistance on that account leveled up so I can make some videos of BB-8, because I do want to actually get to play him. I want to play him because I want to see how good he's possibly with resistance, and I want to do some PvE, like run it through Galactic War and and run it through some other PvE options and just see how well BB-8 is, and I think he's going to do all right. I think for PvE he's going to be literally phenomenal. I think for PvP, he may not be viable yet, but maybe not. But I think that there's probably future pieces of a puzzle that will be coming out because of the movie that will make him arena viable. Yeah. I do believe that at some point have a home in arena, and I don't think the 70 turn cooldown is too much. They game balance tested this. There's a reason why Nihilus has his 8 turn cooldown. There's a reason why his is 70, and it's because after 2 turns he's using it already. You know what I mean? There's a reason. If they hadn't put it at 70, he'd be using it every single turn, and that's just not, that wouldn't even be fair to the opponent. So they had to create that cooldown.
I agree. Now, the thing about this, though, is people have to get first order storm, the first order team, and I gotta say they're doing this smart. I mean, the pack that they're offering, the $79.99, I think is a very fair pack. I mean, it's pretty damn good. I mean, not for the gear, but I mean, you get a ton of characters if you're trying to go for it. I mean, 80 a piece is pretty damn good for $79.99. If you're short, I was fine with the pack. I really like the fact that they're doing double drops on characters, especially like with First Order, Stormtrooper, and Pilot, because that gives people a chance to get a lot of shards to try to get everybody to 7 stars. Now, I'm missing First Order Stormtrooper. I'm trying to get him to 7 because he's 6 star. I think I'm halfway there. Where's everybody else stand on this? Turbo, where are you at with your First Order team? Are they all maxed out and stuff, or? Turbo. Oh, Turbo's going robotic on us. Check your connection there, Turbo. You just went Remon on us. Oh, jeez.
Oh,
oh Lord. Mike. No, stop talking, Turbo. Stop. Oh my God. Oh no, don't talk, Turbo, don't talk. Oh my God, that's horrible. Mike, where are you at with your First Order team?
I'm one of the people that actually zeted the lot. So abilities wise, they're maxed. They were all gear 11, and I just recently, as in I think yesterday, I think I uploaded. I gear 12'd Kylo, First Order Stormtrooper, and First Order TIE Pilot. Had to go in Galactic War with them. They're a squad that I really would like to be viable. I've invested a lot into them, and they were great. I actually meant to say this earlier. I don't know about anyone else. For me, the game is its most balanced just before they launch a meta-changing new character. That's when you start to get your First Order, your Resistance. You'll get like a myriad of different squads all competing competitively in arena just prior to Thrawn being launched, Nihilus being launched, and so on and so forth.
Thank God.
The reason I'm mentioning that is Warrior was saying earlier that the devs listen. If you could recreate that constantly, that would make Arena far more interesting.
Well, yeah, I think that's one thing that they struggle with is the balance of Arena, because right now it's Luke.
Is it still 125%, or has it gone up?
I mean, Luke is still. It looks like a big blue Pac-Man on the meta report is just gobbling up everything else. I mean, I think like 90% of it, 62% I think is like Luke, and then it's like another 30% is between Rex and Kenobi. And the teams are pretty much. I think we were looking at like any kind of dark side team was like way on the bottom of anybody running any kind of form of dark. I mean, dark side is dead in the meta right now, so it's just what it is. But I think they're trying to struggle with trying to balance that. Bella, how's your First Order team? You looking all right? You ready to get BB-8?
Yeah, I just wanted to comment. I think what I expect EA to do is actually to bounce between light side and dark side a bit more from now on. Mm-hmm. And of course they can do that with territory battles also. And there's a new movie coming out, I believe in December. Hint, hint.
We hope.
Yes. And now my First Order. Yeah, I was, I love First Order TIE Pilot. I love his ship. So he's gear 11. But sadly, I couldn't build up Kylo's support shuttle, so I neglected the other 3 pilots a little bit. But actually, I must say I had to buy a pack. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been possible for me to 7-star the characters. And I got, except for First Order Officer, I got them all maxed now.
Good. Well, First Order's officer, you should get him pretty quickly.
He's okay. He's a cantina farm, so that should be okay. And they are all. I don't know why, but Captain Phasma is only gear 7. I just realized. Which is not good.
I think
Not
Gear
good.
A will be fine for this event. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be.
Yeah, I will bring them to gear. Maybe 8 or 9, and First Order TIE Pilot has to save the First Order, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Kylo, I mean, I think I should really work on him a little bit. I always ignored him when everyone had him say that, and I think now I have to gear him up.
Yeah, and then that'll be good. All right, well, let's get into some questions. Let's do it. Let me write down who's. Hopefully, Remon and Turb's microphones are working. Oh my god! Let me see here. All right, let's start from the top. Warrior, we'll start with you, and then I'll work my way down. This is a question from Randall Thrawn. He says, what do people think about gear being removed from Fleet and Shard Shop 2.0? So they did recently, changed everything where ships no longer give gear, but then they did the Shard Shop where you can get gear there. What are your thoughts on it?
So pros and cons. I think that anytime something is done in game, there's probably a benefit on both sides, both them and us, and so you kind of have to look analysis on both sides. It benefits us in that now there is you can have a greater focus on the Zeta mats in the shipments, and because there's less competition for that currency, so that's a good thing. The second thing is there's going to be more characters, so that's a good thing. The third is in the other Shard Shop. Now when you convert your Shard currency, you can now buy a lot of the gear that you needed that gets you characters all the way up to gear 12. Mm-hmm. Gear 11 pieces, gear 10 pieces, gear 9 pieces, that are all really, really hard to get. And 6 Carbantes were like, whatever, it was like, I don't know, 300,
210, something like that.
It was cheap. Yeah, it was cheap. It was one of those things I would consider a really damn good deal. Like, that's really great. So those are the pros. And there's always, positives. There are cons as well, the negative side of things that happen. And one is, just because someone adds something to a shipment doesn't mean they have to remove something from a shipment. It gives us more options. Not every one of us are in the same place in the game, and not every one of us wanted or needed the changes that occurred as far as the removals. So I feel like just because you add something doesn't mean you have to take it away. So I wish they would have left everything as is and only made additions, which tells me if they removed things, it may be in the financial benefit of them to do so. And a good example of that is raid gear. Now, raid gear pieces are still in there in the Shard Shop, but there was fully crafted pieces of raid gear that were 6,300, and I used to buy about 2 a week. And that is how I'm able to lightning skyrocket my teams up to the top. That's how I've been able to do it. I've been hyper-focused on buying excess currency or shards every day, converting it to Shard Shop currency, and buying a crap ton of these raid gear pieces. And surprisingly, at Gear 12, to get a lot of characters from Gear 11 to Gear 12, there is a ton of raid gear requirements to get to that last level up. And so I was really excited that we could do that. Well, then when this change came out, it's nice to see stun cuffs and Carbantes in there. That's amazing. But now I can't buy a fully crafted furnace or a fully crafted, Nubian scanner or anything like that. And so a little bit saddened or frustrated by that, because it has taken I was running and now I have to crawl again in that aspect. And raid gear is the biggest crux in the game. It's really truly the largest crux in the game. It's what stops all your characters at Gear 8 or Gear 9. I've got like 15 characters right now sitting at Gear 8. I can't take them any higher, and everything they need to get to Gear 9 is raid gear. And so I've got 15 characters with 1 or more raid gear pieces required to get them to Gear 9. That's fine, but it was just sad to see that they felt the need to remove something that was beneficial to the player base for free-to-play and whale alike. I mean, for free-to-play, that's the only way some characters were able to get it, because their raid gear wasn't dropping enough they were able to craft like 1 piece a month, if that. And so they were able to buy a bunch of crap currency, convert it, with a all the other currencies, buy shards, convert them, and then be able to buy a piece of raid gear and get their wedge up to gear 9, instead of sitting at gear 8 for 6 months, kind of thing. So it hurts free-to-play really bad that they can't buy fully crafted anymore. But it also hurts people like me who spend a lot of money in the game, because I was on a process of development, and boom, now I'm stuck. And I'm going to have to struggle like everybody else on raid gear and have to buy 3 pieces at a time, to get 50 pieces. And there's the only pushback I got was a lot of people said, well, it's not even the raid. People have a plethora of raid gear. Okay, some people may. I don't know anyone that is high-end whale or low-end free-to-play that at the top or the bottom that has a plethora of raid gear sitting around crafted and ready to go. I just don't. So I don't know if that holds true or holds water. I think, I have like 350 salvage for furnaces, but I don't have anybody that needs a furnace. So it's the other ones that I'm having issues with right now. So anyway, I think that there was a lot of positives, a lot of positive changes that's going to help the entire player base, and I'm excited about all of that. I just felt like maybe those things that were changed that I don't like didn't need to be changed. They could have made improvements without making the opposite true, because it kind of creates this, they give and take, where they could have just given, to make things easier.
What I thought this week when I was doing my gear challenges, you sim them and you don't really have a look, but somehow I kind of looked how much of them I had, and it's like several thousand pieces, and I didn't play as long as you, Warrior, but it's the same. I have many of those from the challenges, which I obviously don't need. So it would be a good idea, I think. I just checked. We have tier 5 now to add a tier 6 or something, like with the gear challenges, to have the next challenge for new gear for other gear, maybe. So we can collect other gear.
I wish we could just turn it in and get higher gear. It's ridiculous. I know what you're talking about. I've got so many certain pieces of gear. It's like, I have 3,000 of this that I will hardly ever use. It's ridiculous. Can't do anything with it. It just sits there.
They could bring back that you could sell it back.
Sell it or trade it in for... I would like... I don't really want to...
It was in-game, wasn't it, at the beginning?
Yeah, it used to be you could sell gear for credits.
So it's already in-game.
We could do it with mods. I don't know why we can't do it with gear.
Or take 100 or 500 or 1,000 even, and make the next level, like maybe not 1,000, that's too much, but put 100 together and get, instead of a gear level 5, get a 6, gear level 6. Something like that. Yeah. Of the same.
Well, maybe they listen and maybe they do it. We'll find out. All right, Bella, you're up next. This is from Enrique B, and his question is, what do? I get my resistance to gear 10, they're all gear 8 and below, or get my Wigs to gear 11, who's currently gear 10, or get my Commander Zodi gear 10, to gear 10. And this is for territory battles. So what do you think?
Oh. Okay, can you resistance to gear 10? Or Wix to gear what?
11.
G11, and the last?
His Commander Zodi team to gear 10. No, this is for territory battles, he said.
Yeah. I must say that I really love Wix in territory battles. I use them in a separate team. We sometimes need 4 different teams where we have 2 at least where we need rebels. And I quite like the Wedge lead and Biggs at his side, because Commander Luke is leading another team. And you just have a few good leaders on the light side, especially if you're looking at rebels. So I probably would go for Wigs and get them geared up.
Not trying to hijack the question. I'm back, by the way.
Oh, well, welcome back, Mr. Roboto.
The downfalls of driving.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hardly a question. With regards to Zordy, territory battles, not good.
No.
Works great up to about phase 3. You can maybe get away with phase 4, but phase 5 and phase 6, they just don't do enough damage. It'd be a wasted Zeta on Zordy. No resistance, now you're talking. If you can get your potency up above 50% on everybody, and you have a Zeta Finn, then resistance will do you as a very good team for territory battles.
Yes. They're amazing.
In a nutshell.
They're amazeballs. Okay.
Yes, but 5 and Wix is 2. So you have to gear 5 to gear 10, whereas Wix, it's 2 characters. You have to think about that too.
So let's look at it like this, Bella. Who do you think you get more bang for the buck through territory battles? Do you think a Gear 10 Resistance team or the Gear 11 Wigs team?
I mean, you don't use them on their own, right?
Who?
The Wigs.
Well, I hope not. unless you're really brave. I'm going in with Wigs. Look out.
If I had BB-8, I would just send BB-8 in, and everyone, all the dark side would die of laughing, and I would win like 45 stars.
No, they'd be like, "Oh, he's cute." Ah!
Yeah. I see what you mean, and of course, resistance will be more important when BB-8 comes out. So it's kind of working for the future.
Yeah.
But resistance is just one team. So my thought was just try to figure out a few teams, because you need a few, not only one good team.
Oh, yeah.
Because they deploy automatically if you use them in one phase.
It's true. All right, let's go to the next question for Mike. This is from Old Man Wilson, and his question is, what is your favorite Resistance lineup? And who will BB-8 bump out? So, what do you think of that, Mr. Mike?
Ooh, favorite Resistance. I think favorite now that I've actually given Ray the Omegas would be the original lineup. So Finn, Zeta, Lead, Poe, Resistance Trooper, Resistance Pilot, and Ray, because Ray just adds the entertainment factor. When she mollywops or triple mollywops or whatever, yeah, that's
made R2 very sad.
You don't like using R2 in that lineup? And with BB-8 coming out, who would you change out? So I mean, you've got 2 droids that could help the Resistance team, but
so with BB-8, I would switch BB-8 for Ray.
Oh, interesting.
And yeah, I think the rest, just with all the turn meter and I think everybody else exposes, and that's the key, isn't it, to Resistance? Or so I'm learning. I'm getting educated by various sources. A lot of my viewers tell me where I'm exactly going wrong with my Resistance. They're getting there. I'm starting to understand them more, and I'm trying to use them more in Galactic War, just for the experience. The only problem there is that unfortunately most of the Galactic War squads you face are
pretty potent.
Are a bit too slow. Because you normally want that in territory battles. It's also the looking at all the skulls, isn't it, and just trying to prevent that what feels like an endless chain of specials and hits and exposes and target locks, and when that steam train starts rolling,
it's pretty impressive.
Resistant, it's very impressive. Unfortunately, it can quite easily melt Resistance. If your Poe goes, then you're gone.
Yeah,
you're in the Poe.
God, shame on you.
Oh, we're back to BB-8's icon, aren't we?
Oh, Lord. All right, next question for Turbo. This is from Billy Gunn, and his question is First Order Stormtrooper in fleet shipments? Also, do you think single-character Go packs will be available when the BB-8 event goes live? Turbo?
Sorry, what was the first bit, Roger?
A question is First Order Stormtrooper in fleet shipments? Not that I'm aware of, but you may know something I don't. And also, do you think the single-character First Order packs will be available when BB-8 event goes live?
To be honest, I've not looked myself because my First Order is all 7-star and all Gear 12, so I've not looked at any of the packs. But usually there's an expiry timer, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
So you can just see when the... have I been told when the BB-8 event is yet?
It starts in the 28th? It's got a timer on it. I mean, you can do the math from it. I think there's 5 more days it comes out or whatever this Thursday coming up. That's just off the top of my head without looking at it.
So you should be able to check 2 timers.
I mean, honestly, if you're close, you don't really need the like for me, like with the double drops through tomorrow and everything. I mean, because even once the event goes live, you'll have like a couple days to do it too, or 7 days, or however long they run it. So, you know, I'd hold off on the packs unless you're just like you're not even close. Like if you're way behind, then maybe you can look at it. I don't know if they'll put individual packs for single characters for sort of packs. That's interesting because they do have the large one, which is $79.99, but there's no that I'm aware of single packs out yet. But do you think they'll put single packs out for each of the individual characters?
It depends, doesn't it? You know, they sometimes do to spend some more money, don't they? But
think there'll be crystals?
Again,
like they'll put like crystals where you can get like 10 to 330, something like that.
They normally do, don't they? Normally the crystal packs. Going on what they've done in the past, then maybe. And again, going on what they've done in the past, they normally do actually run the packs till the end of the event because you still get people farming until the last day, don't you? So I think you should be okay. But a good way to check it is just check the timers.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Remon, are you there, buddy? Remon going once. Remon going twice.
He dropped.
He dropped. God, dog it. I think for Christmas we should all just get Remon, like, I don't know, T-Mobile or something. I don't know what to do for Remon. Oh my God. All right, so we'll go back to the top. Warrior. This is from. This is for a question for Old Man Wilson. He says, "Question: do you think there will be a Resistance Legendary event next?" Ooh.
Well, I have no notion or no knowledge of that, but it would only make sense because they're using every faction to unlock a different character, and they have up to this point just picked a new faction. So they're probably not going to go back and use Empire. You know what I mean? They're not going to go back and use First Order or whatever. So there's only a few factions left, and the few that are left, I mean, Night Sisters aren't exactly going to be able to hold their own in an event. Geonosians, same thing, not so much. Tuskens, don't think so. So when you start looking at, Separatists, maybe, but probably not because that includes Geonosians and Night Sisters. So when you start looking at what's left for them to utilize in an event, you're probably the only one that's really makes sense would be Resistance. So that would be a logical conclusion. And this will probably be the first time that the entire community goes, yay! Because everybody's getting their Resistance up for territory battles, for galactic war, for all the PvE that's in the game, and people are now really shifted towards a Resistance focus. And so by the time an event comes out where they require Resistance, I think everybody's going to be like, yeah, finally, an event where I was ready for the event. I hope so. So if you're listening to this and you don't have your Resistance on farm, you should, because the Resistance team right now is the only team in the game, other than maybe Rogue One, that's going to give you peace of mind in the entire aspect of the entire game. So I would recommend Resistance first and then Rogue One, Rebels second. Those are the top 2 best PvE teams in the game, period. There's no other better combination of characters. Those are my 2 strongest teams in PvE. specifically territory battles. So yeah, I think that that's a possibility. I know a lot of people are theorizing on the boards and stuff that possibly Snoke would come into the game this December, and that we would use Resistance to unlock them. I'm not sure that would be the case. I'm not sure because I think Snoke is kind of an in-game character for the movie as well, and I think that probably wouldn't happen until 2 years from now. And if the game's still around, that's probably when Snoke would come in my opinion. I don't think that he's going to have a large enough role yet in this movie to be a contributor in this game yet, although that's could be the case. I don't know. Again, I don't know anything about the future. They don't give us a real heads up about much. It's like, oh, by the way, in 3 days this character is being released, and then here's some footage, and hopefully we'll unlock him for you here soon so you guys can film it yourself. So there's a little bit of a heads up, but it's very short heads up. It's not like we can't do any personal development on our own personal accounts, of course, so we have no head start or jump or anything like that. But yeah, so Snoke maybe, but I doubt it. But Resistance being used for an event, yes, I do think that is going to be the case.
All right. Next question is for Bella. Well, this question, I'm going to go to another question because Zeri SPC asks, what do you think of the new shard shop? We just talked about it, and about all the shard shops. I think we kind of covered this already. Although, well, real quick word, do you think they'll be doing anything with the other shops? Because you answered this question previously. We talked about the new shard shop and the changes they've done. Do you think any of the other shard shops they will be? I mean, we know that they're up in the gear and stuff for the territory battle stuff. But do you think like maybe any of the other shard shops like GW or Cantina they'll be doing anything with?
I sincerely hope so, because, for example, I mean, Cantina. What can I farm from Cantina?
You can farm POW.
Yes, but I finished him.
Then Stormtrooper.
Yeah, what I wanted to say, there are very few characters, and then you have to see what else is there in this shop. For example, if you have Cantina, you have got ship credits and droids and ability mats, but not stuff that is really like a bottleneck, mm-hmm. where you think, okay, I really need that. So Cantina is one I would love if they reworked it. And yeah, I think they actually kind of look at all the shops. They did fleet, shards, and we have a new territory battle shop now. Also the same for Squad Arena. The only thing mm-hmm. I can farm there is credits now. Maybe I have a few characters which I didn't upgrade fully, but you see, after a while, you just you have all those characters. So what do? You farm them to get shard currency,
yeah,
which is much. Like not a direct way to.
I would say that the way that they have it built is actually ingenious, and I wouldn't change a thing. And this is from a business standpoint for a lot of reasons. It's in the benefit of the client, us who play the game, that they not change it. And this is why it benefits them too. And I'll touch on that. But right now there are 10,000 people a week that are downloading this game and trying it for the first time ever, and some of them will end up becoming in-game players. When they go in, they don't have a single character. There is access to characters such as Stormtrooper Han and Biggs and those kinds of characters in those types of stores. And so it would not help us if we selfishly say we already have them, we don't want them, rotate something good in for us.
No, Warrior, you misunderstood me completely. You misunderstood. I don't
hold on. The question was to me anyway. You already have spoken, so just let me finish my thought, okay? Please and thank you. And so what happens is you've got a bunch of people that need a lot of those characters that are in all of those shipments. So I think once something is put into a shipment, it's really established as a home for that as a farming spot. And it really doesn't benefit anybody to shift or move or rotate. Now, they've shown that anytime they bring a new faction out, such as Rogue One, that they move those characters once they become farmable, approximately 2.5 to 3 months after they come into the game. They move them all over the board, and some go into certain stores and some go on certain nodes. And they do that, they spread it around, they spread the love out, kind of like Phoenix, so you can farm them simultaneously. So they can always add to the stores to make the stores more valuable, but taking away from the stores won't make any sense. So I think keeping the stores exactly how they have it and bringing out the characters exactly how they do, which is rolling them out across the board, makes the most sense for the character base, but it also makes the most sense for them. And the reason why they bring out characters such as First Order TIE Pilot or Stormtrooper in, like, let's say, the shipments, is it forces you as a character or as a player to make a choice. Do I want a Zeta Mat or do I want to get First Order TIE Pilot to 7 stars? Now, you could farm him the old school way because that's still available. They haven't removed that as an option. But what they're saying is now you got to make a critical choice. Do you want him fast or do you want him slower in Zeta Mats? And those are choices every game should have, or the game will go too fast, and then everybody's in game and they're upset and they're quitting the game. So the way they have it is exactly how they should, and how they're rolling out character shards into different stores is exactly how they should have it. I wouldn't have them change a thing when it comes to that.
Okay, and what were you saying, Bella? Is she still there? Did we lose Bella? What is going on with our connection today? Oh, good Lord.
I think we talked about enough about that question. Let's move on.
Oh, okay. Well, I just wanted to clarify that because this person had asked a follow-up question to that. So this is the question I wanted to give to you, Miss Bella. This is from HBK 146. Question. I bet the next hero's journey will be Jedi Rey, and you require Smuggler Han, Chewie, BB-8, Rey, and Finn. What do you think about that as the next hero's journey?
Yeah, could be. We don't know yet. We don't know the new movie, right? So we don't know where Rey is heading.
That's true. So all we know is Luke said the Jedi have to end, and we're all like, no. But do you think, like what they did with Luke with the lightsaber, like they could take like the characters from Force Awakens, like Han, Chewie, now that they've introduced them, Viagra Han and Viagra Chewie with BB-8, Rey, and Finn, that they can make that as part of her journey to maybe get her lightsaber, the new look for the next movie coming up?
I just hope they also bring some of the old characters, like developed versions of the old characters we know and love, because actually most guys who started with the 70s movies are not so much a fan of the Force Awakens. I don't know, Disney decided this is a timeline and they want to go this way. That's fine, but there's so much more to the Star Wars universe.
I agree.
We could also have a Jedi Leia. I mean, she is not in the movies, but she's in the books. So they will do what is in the movies, because this is like advertisement for free, of course. So if the next movie is about Jedi Rey, I expect them to have an event, but not in December. That would be, we're talking about January, February then.
That makes sense. I like it. All right. Next question is for Mikey, and this is from Old Man. Old Man Wills is asking a lot of questions today. This is a good question. Will there be a Jedi rework soon? My Jedi suck now in this meta.
I thought.
I don't know if Jedi sucks. There are Jedi that suck, but I mean, Zaris is still pretty good. Kenobi's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you've just lost the Qui-Gon leads now.
Yeah, they're just.
I mean that. But this is. No, initially I would say no in regards to rework on Jedi, and I'd draw your attention back to the was it the 2,500% CLS lead in Arena at the moment, and meta and everything else. So it's not just Jedi; it's everything.
Yeah, big shift.
Think about us poor Darksiders who
invested heavily. Oh Lord.
Yeah. I mean, we've all got like Thrawns that are getting annihilated. Well, no, they're getting absolutely pummeled as soon as they do their AOEs. Yeah, no foresight there. But yeah, so
they do need to do a Jedi rework. I don't know if it's going to be coming soon though.
They're pretty good. You've got more Jedi coming through. We've got Hermit Yoda coming, haven't we?
Yeah, but there's a lot of Jedi that are still on the sidelines. There's a lot of characters like that, but I mean, there's a few Jedi that are good, but it's like.
Jedi Knight Guardian, get her reworked to make her awesome.
Just like Mace Windu. I mean, he's totally non-viable. I mean, a lot of characters like that is like they should rework and fix and make them a little bit better. But do we think that's going to be coming soon? I don't think so. They've got so much new stuff coming in. We could be wrong, right? But I don't see a rework coming soon. Do you?
I'm just going straight back to the Game Changers videos when Hermit Yoda and all the gameplay, and they're pretty much Jedi squads that they're running with it.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Stay tuned. We'll see what happens.
I think that it'll be more meta changing that brings them back than buffing new characters. Yeah.
All right, so next question is for Turbo. This is from Metals, and this is a question is, what does Phoenix need in a rework to make them arena viable? Turbo? Turbs?
I'm here. Still apologise.
Are you drinking?
Arena viable? No, I'm not drinking.
Okay.
What was you saying, drinking? Phoenix, without a complete rework, I don't think they need a rework. They need Zetas, don't they?
Yeah.
They need Zeta abilities. That's what's going to take them to the next step and the next level. And I'd be interested in what the abilities are and how much they improve. But yeah, they just need shoring up with some Zeta abilities, don't they?
Yeah, but so it's going to depend on, from this question, make them arena viable. It's going to depend on the Zeta. If the Zeta just bumps up their current one, I don't know if it'll make arena viable, but if it adds something that wasn't there before, that's where it could make them arena viable.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's kind of hard.
Definitely.
I just don't know because it depends on what they do to bump those Zetas up and what the Zetas allow them to do. It sounds like you got... Well, someone's fighting in the back arguing.
Yeah, it's the boys.
Oh, Lord.
It's the boys.
Okay.
No, they are. Once you get them maxed, the synergies are pretty damn good. It's just there's a few lackluster characters, and as soon as you start focusing Hera and stuff like that, and once she's gone, it just falls apart. It just falls apart. But they are a very interesting team in the way that they've made them. It's just a shame that they didn't kind of work and take off like they looked really good on paper. So we'd say one for the future, hopefully.
All right.
One for the future.
All right, Warrior, we've got... God, I can't believe it. All right, Warrior, Finn's got a ridiculous question, and then I've got an actual question for you. So this is from Finn, the troll extraordinaire, Warrior. He says, when you hung out with the people at CG, what kind of alcohol do they like to drink? And do you think they would ever join Ranger on a drunken stream? Finn asked that. So if you want to punch Finn, go ahead.
And they have great taste in microbrews for those who I went out and got to relax with.
See, so they'll just have to invite me to the next event, wherever it is, and we can go drinking. So there you go, Finn. But I don't think they'd ever join me on one of my drunken campaign streams. Oh, Lord. All right, and here's the legitimate question. Finn, you're such a troll. Bad Rongo asks, question, just unlocked GK. What gear level is Arena viable? What mods do I focus on? Is it protection? And then last question, considering Arena team of the following: Commander Luke Skywalker leader, Baze, General Kenobi, Zeta R2D2, and Zeta OG Han. Does that sound good?
Yeah, it sounds phenomenal. You're a double tank with R2D2, so it's almost like having 3 tanks. Critical hit immunity. Han Solo is all you need to destroy the other team. And then, of course, CLS, he's another attacker too. So that's a phenomenal team. I've ran that multiple times. It's excellent. It's very good defensively. It's beatable like anything, but it's still a phenomenal team. As far as GK being viable at 5 stars, yes. At gear level, you really probably should get him to gear level 10 minimum. Top that gear level 10 and then you're good, but if you can get it up to gear 11, that would be optimal. And as far as modding General Kenobi, you want 2 things. You want speed and protection, because he is a tank, so you're going to want him as tanky as possible, and so that way he survives long enough, because he's going to constantly be taunting, so he's going to constantly be taking the heat for your team. So if he doesn't have protection, he's going to die quick and he's going to be gone, and that's the first person most people have to kill, and if they're dedicated, that's the first person they focus on. So protection's going to be annoying if you put a lot of it on there, but you do still have to make him fast, because he needs to take turns so he can do cleanses and put retribution up and things like that. So I would shoot for 200 speed as best as possible, and only sacrifice protection when it makes you get to that 200 speed. So probably the arrow should be speed, and then the other 3, the plus, the circle, and the triangle, be protection with as much speed secondaries as possible. And if you can do a speed set, he's not the fastest character in the game, but he's got a good average speed. A speed set would make sense on him, so that way you can also get an additional 12 to 15 bonus speed. I think it's like a 13 bonus speed on him, or whatever his base speed is. It's 10% of that. So that's my suggestion.
There you go. All right, Miss Darth Bella. Mr. Penny Pinch's Corner of the Galaxy asks, really? That's the name? Mr. Penny Pinch's Corner of the Galaxy? Oh, my lord. God. He asked, do we know, will BB-8 be unlocked at 5 stars? I think he is, right?
I don't know. I mean,
that's a good question.
I don't. Do we know what kind of event that is?
It's legendary, isn't it?
Legendary, yeah. It's a legendary event, and with legendary, yeah.
I mean,
it could.
I think.
Yeah.
I think you can unlock him at 5 star. It's not like Luke, where it was just 7 star or bust.
I think
right?
it is actually more probable, like a Thrawn event.
Mm-hmm.
That you can unlock at 5 but can go to 7.
Yeah, so I think you will be able to unlock them at 5 stars. So, but stay tuned. We never know. They could throw a curveball at us, and then me and Darth Bella will be plotting evil plans on them. All right, I had much to train her on. Let's see here. Mike, next question from Corey Dalmeyer. Question: should I Zeta Thrawn's unique if I don't run him with a strictly Empire squad?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. It's the only one I've ever done. I've never done his lead. It works everywhere. It just increases. Doesn't it make him 100% counter?
Yeah.
When fracture's on.
You are correct.
Yeah. Yep, and he does. It doesn't matter who he's behind. I mean, I run my Thrawn under a CLS lead. So yeah, definitely, it's one of the best Zetas. I personally, because if you're running Thrawn, you're fracturing, and to get him and he hits really hard.
Yes, and he's a pain in the ass because he can give protection and turn meter to somebody else. He's a pain in the ass.
Was it his basic? I'm sorry, I haven't got it in front of me, but isn't it his basic that the second time he hits, he stuns as well?
Yeah, I think so. Off the top of my head, I don't have it in front of me right this second too. But yeah, he's a great character. Yeah. I just can't focus on him because I'm doing so much stuff with all these other teams and stuff. I just got a Zeta and I had to put it on Finn because you need resistance for territory battles. I would love to Zeta Thrawn, but it's like, you can't do it. So it's like, I just wish I could take my Zeta off Maul and put it on him right now. It's like I've got Zetas on Vader, Thrawn, and Maul, and it's like I don't hardly use them for anything. I don't use them, and it's just like, oh Jesus.
I'm just coming up to. I was up to 36 Zetas, so I finally.
You have 36 Zetas? I hate you.
I did have. I don't anymore. Because I finally this week did It Binds All Things on my Commander Luke.
You gotta have that.
Up till now, I've been running him Omega only.
Nah, that's a good one. That's a good one to have. I'm just saying.
For me, the deciding factor for me was we haven't touched on it really. Although we've mentioned territory battles throughout the morning. Afternoon. To me, maybe I also saw some chat about it as well. It just felt that this time round it was harder. So phases 1 and 2 just seemed harder.
Huh? I didn't really get that. What about the rest of everybody here? Did you think that the first 2 phases were a little harder? Bella, did you think they were harder? Bella?
Sorry, I was muted.
You were drinking coffee again, weren't you?
Put that coffee down.
That's the truth. I was drinking coffee.
Mm-hmm.
You got me there. What was the coffee question?
And the question was, do you think that the territory battles are a little bit harder this time around?
I'm not sure. There's two things, like they could be harder, but also because I think I heard the opinion that they don't want people to have 44 stars right away, so they should be harder, but I don't know what they actually changed. What I've seen so far and what I like, that you could use some squads earlier on, and that is a kind of very good thing for people who don't have G12 on all their Phoenix and Rogue One, because you can actually use them. You get a few of those tokens, which we all need for the Gear 12.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the changes so far. Because the special teams are needed in the lower phases as well. But I don't know. I can't for just now. I don't really see how to. We can just have a look at the characters, right? We can't see how tough or if they changed actually the AI.
It's true.
Yeah,
I think it's more of a perception that it seems harder.
The reason why I was saying it is that we had the Rogue One and the Phoenix squads, and those battles just seem, considering they were at phase 2, and we're going to do them again at what is it, phase 5 and 6. They just, I mean, I like most people, I'm assuming I've been working on my Phoenix squad, and also I've actually been boosting my Rogue One as well, but I'm increasing the gear levels and I've put in Omegas and things on them. I just was quite surprised at how resilient the AI was.
I'm inclined to agree. Only on them special missions, though, the ones where it's only 3, the one where it's only 3 battles.
Yeah.
Maybe they've done that on purpose, because on the flip side, before this week they were a bit easy, weren't they?
Yeah.
Maybe they have tuned them a touch. But on the regular ones, no. So I think sometimes it's the RNG factor, isn't it? Because the enemies are random, and how many commanders you get and how many ones with skulls, some people have it easier than others, don't they? So maybe your perception on the other ones, it's because the enemies are random, you just might have had a tougher pick.
Oh, mate.
This week, you know what I mean?
Hopefully that means that phase 6 won't be as bad as last time then. Yeah, okay. I'll live with that. Maybe.
All right. All right, next question for you, Turbo. This is from Doc Brito. His question is, joining a guild has a lot of advantages, but is there any advantages for forming an alliance with multiple guilds? What do you think, Turbs? You were just talking, Turbs. Anybody there?
Hey up to Turbs, you wanted on to phone? No, even that didn't work. Sorry. I spoke Northern there just to see.
I guess the kids are fighting. He had to get...
Oh, yeah.
Is he going Roboto again? Oh, for the love of good Pete. All right, Mike. What do you think?
I think about. Sorry, I missed what.
Question is:
about?
Joining a guild has a lot of advantages, but is there any advantage to forming an alliance with multiple guilds?
Yes, there is.
Are we back?
There is.
Okay, there's Turbo. All right, can you answer the question out, Turbo?
I'm back.
Fix your carrier.
I've just got to my mother's and it tried flipping over to Wi-Fi.
Oh Lord.
Are you saying benefit to merging with other alliances?
Well, it's this question. I'll read it again. Question: Joining a guild has a lot of advantages, but is there any advantages to forming an alliance with multiple guilds?
Do you mean as an individual or obviously as another guild?
Well, yeah, I guess
if it's as another guild, I'd always say yes. Power in numbers, isn't it? You can, whether it be transfers or sharing knowledge, and I'd say there's more for it than against it. But it depends, because some tiered guilds might end up destroying your guild by taking on your stronger players, and it depends how it works. Mm. It's something you need to kind of hash out with whoever you're going to merge with, isn't it? But I think the pros outweigh the cons in most instances.
I agree. All right, Warrior. This is from Artorias Draknight. His question is: what minimum gear level for Phoenix Squad do you need to get 7-star Thrawn with bad mods? What if you have good mods?
if you have really good mods, and when I say good mods, I mean you're adding the stats you should be adding, like protection on tanks, critical damage and chance on your damage dealers, having at least 70 or more additional speed secondaries, then you could probably get away at gear 8 average, with like 1 or 2 at gear 9 and 1 or 2 at gear 7. But if you've got average or less than average mods, you probably should shoot for an average of gear 9, and then you're probably going to have to attempt the event a few times.
There you go. Makes sense. All right, Darth Bella. The next question is from Lucas T. And he asks, with BB-8 coming, do you think droids will become viable again? Ooh, a droid question.
Yes. I wish that would be true, because I'm actually one of the few people to run droids in phase 2 of the tank takedown, and I'm not very happy with it, but my mods needed to move away from my droids to other characters I need more urgently, so they are not really doing great damage, but R2-D2 can be used there as well, and why not? I was thinking that BB-8 could be fun there. You have 2 of the astromech droids. I'm just thinking who to take out then, because we have the
HK-47.
HK was the lead, and then you had the IG twins and Java engineer. So I'm actually not sure. Would need to think about how to set it up.
All right. Next question for Mikey. This is from Mino. I see lots of people in game with multiple gear level characters. I'm still working on my first OG Han. I think they mean gear 12. What tricks do you all have for taking characters up to gear 12? What are some tricks of the trade you can give to Mino, who is working on 1 gear 12?
Save up crystals, because that's the way you do it. Utilize there was a pack. It was an expensive pack, but it was great because it actually gave us the gear piece to gear 12, either R2 or was it Kenobi? I think if you'd already filled all the other 5 spots, it was the one piece that you needed to do that. Unfortunately, it's shopping and really focusing on your farming. You need the gear 12 piece, be it the Mark IV whatever or the Mark VI Ujumi flip. Mm-hmm. That's the actual technical names for both those pieces. It's farming of that. But on the plus side, if you're an officer or a leader of a guild, you shouldn't be having to chase anyone on 600s at the moment, because everyone hopefully is doing just that. And if they're not doing that, then they're focused on getting their first order or their Phoenix squads ready.
Yeah, I'm actually on a spending break myself, and the best way is your refreshes. But so finish as high as you can in the arena. Obviously, I get first, fortunately, on a reasonable shard, so I get 500 crystals. So I always do my 350 refreshes. And a little tidbit that I got told is only battle sim in 2s. And I do find that you do get better drops if you sim in 2s. I don't know if that whether it's real or fake or whatever, but you still always get the annoying one when you only need one piece to finish, and it takes 3 refreshes. That's a silly little mechanic that's built into the game. But no, I do tend to find you get more doing 2 drops and do your refreshes, and also finishing high in the fleet as well, and buy from the fleet arena some spare salvage. That's the best way to be getting your purple parts.
All right. Who is that noise? Is that you, Turbo, out there like vacuuming or something? What is that? Good Lord.
Sorry, I've just stood outside having a vape, and it's the main road. It's cars going past.
Mm-hmm. All right, so the next question is for you, Turbo. This is from Anton88, and his question is, my rated team is Commander Luke Skywalker, R2-D2, Raid Han, and Chase. I have number crunch Zeta already. Who would be next to Zeta?
After Raid Han? Sorry, what was the team again?
So, question for his arena team is he's running Commander Luke Skywalker, R2-D2, Raid Han, and Chase, and he has the number crunch Zeta. Who would be the next? What would be the next Zeta to put on who?
I'd do R2 second Zeta. R2 second Zeta in that team. Did he say he's got Raid Han?
Yeah.
And he's got him Zetas?
No, it just says that he just has only number. From what I understand from the question, the only Zeta is number crunch. So if he's got another Zeta coming up, you've got R2-D2, Han, and CLS. Who would you put the Zeta on? Really, is the question.
I think it's got to be Han, hasn't it? Even though R2's cleanse Zeta is very, very good, but if you're running Han, you've got to have him Zeta, because the fact that he can go through the taunts and the double tap is amazing. Yeah, it's got to be Raid Han.
Yep.
Got to be.
All right. Next question for Warrior. Man, we got a lot of questions today. This is from the tour. He says, question, I'm looking to build a scoundrel team to have some fun in arena. Who would you recommend the party... what do you recommend the party should consist of if you want to do a scoundrel team?
So that's a good question. What's up, Tor? I actually know who he is. We talk on YouTube quite a bit through comments and stuff. But scoundrels or bounty hunters? He said scoundrels, right?
Just scoundrels, yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot more now to choose from than there was. I think Boba Fett has to be on that team. I think Han has to be on that team. They're 2 mass damage dealers. If you have the Captain Han Solo, the new one, not the newest Han, but the second newest
Viagra Han, yeah.
Viagra Han Solo, I guess that's what you call him. That guy, you can farm him up because he's in Cantina, and you gear him up and everything, and he brings some durability to that team. I think you probably would have to have Stormtrooper Han as well, so you'd be running with 3 Han Solos, Captain Han Solo, OG Han Solo, and Stormtrooper Han, because you've got to have at least one tank. really you've got to have at least one tank. And then Lando and IG-88 probably have a home on that team as well. The only issue with Lando, IG-88, Boba Fett, those three, is their AoE damage, and they're going to try to do their AoE, and then they're going to be destroyed completely, like eliminated off the board on one turn if you go against CLS. So at this time in the meta, you would have to try and use characters that make maybe a little bit more sense to do a single targeted attack, but there's just not very good scoundrels that do single targeted attacks to choose from. Cad Bane, surprisingly, would be one of those potential because he can shoot twice. If you really get up his crit chance and damage, he might hit for a decent amount. And then, of course, he's got that stun potential that he's got, and of course it's guaranteed stun on Jedi, which you're running into a few Jedi in the current meta. So I don't know, Cad Bane, Captain Han Solo, Stormtrooper Han, regular Han Solo, Boba Fett, probably, even though he's probably going to die, but if you have him zated, he can regain protection when he kills someone, and he'll come back to life with his unique bounty hunter solve buff. So he's a little bit of a special circumstance. He can kind of come back to life type thing. So it's really tough right now. Scoundrels are a tough team to build and run because most of the really good ones rely heavily on AoE damage, with the exception of Han Solo. And so you could run a couple tanks. You could actually run Clone Wars Chewbacca as a tank to try to protect the team, or the Gamorrean Guard to try to protect the team. But, the two best attackers right now, aside from the regular Han Solo, would be the veteran smugglers, the combo. But you can't farm them. So, you could have them gear 11 by now, but they're still 4 stars, and that's borderline, because they're attackers, that's borderline usable. So I don't know. That's tough.
That's a tough question. All right. Next question is for everybody. We'll go around the corn, as Grande would say. If you could hang out with anyone from Star Wars, who would it be? We'll start with you, Warrior.
Rey. I'd hang out with her. That'd be fun.
All right. What about you, Darth Bella?
Yeah. It has to be a pilot, of course.
Of course. Well, who are you picking?
Poe Dameron.
Oh. well. Ooh la la. What about you, Mikey?
I think I'd like to be on Jabba the Hutt's barge.
You're gonna hang out with Jabba the Hutt?
Well, yeah, and his pet Leia.
You just saved it there. Mike. Everybody else was saying, obviously Rey, because I fancy Rey. Or Jabba, no, I fancy Rey. And then Jabba. He must like him fat.
It's more about his pet Leia than him.
What about you, Turbo?
Me, I'm going to think outside the box. I'd rather have a night out with Lando, me. Play some cards.
Yeah.
Have a few drinks.
Yeah.
In Cloud City. The old pirate.
Yeah. And for me, it would be Darth Revan, so he could teach me both sides of the Force, and I could rule the galaxy for safe and secure society. All right. Next question is for Finn. This is from Finn. Oh, Lord Bella, this is for you. I don't know if this is a troll question or not. We'll find out. So Finn the Troll Extraordinaire, Dr. Finn Medicine Woman, wants to know, Bella, how do you feel about territory battles getting people to farm Gauntlet, Ghost, and Phantom? If it weren't for territory battles, would you recommend people farm any of those ships?
I farmed them even before we had territory battles.
That's right.
How can you not farm ships? I mean, what kind of question is that, Finn? Of course.
He's a troll. I mean, you got to fire back. Don't take his garbage. Bella, get him.
Yes, farm them.
They're good ships. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't farm them.
I always like to try out a new ship. Sadly, I wish they would be 5-star, not 4-star, because 4-star, the ones we can't farm right now, is a little low to really play with them. if it is 5-star, it's just the same like Arena. You can go in with a 5-star, but I wouldn't dare to go in with a 4-star, right? Yeah.
I'm just asking for a beating. Oh, Finn. You're such a troll. All right, next question for Mikey. This is from Keyboard. Do you prefer to use creative thinking or strategy when it comes to fighting a team which you haven't faced before? Creative equals jumping in there and messing around, and strategy equals coming up with a plan beforehand. What are your thoughts, Mikey?
Mikey smash. That's my philosophy all the time. It's hit hard or yeah.
Or go home,
yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, that's it.
I like to just throw them in there, hit auto, see what happens.
See, I'm reluctant to hit auto. It's like I've dedicated so much time to these. Why would I let the computer play them?
Oh, you just said just go in there and smash, so why not just do that then?
Well, yeah.
I mean, you knucklehead. So you're more of a strategy, come up with a plan beforehand, and then try to do it, or you just kind of shoot from the hip when you get into a battle with a team you've never faced before?
Yeah, shoot from the hip. Have a butcher's, throw some
kind of guy.
Throw some damage dealers in there, slap in a tank, and off you go.
Oh Lord! All right, keyboard. You can punch Mikey later. All right, next question is for Turbo. This is from Kitch. As we received Old Republic Sith in February early this year, do you think we'll receive more Old Republic characters around the same time next year? Oh God, that seems so far away. What do you think, Turbo? I'm gonna kill you, Turbo.
What?
You just.
I'm not saying I don't like him. I'm just saying.
No. I'm just saying. I can't tell if you got cut off or not. Is I'm gonna get you. So what do you think? Do you think we'll get Old Republic characters again soon, or do you think it'll be next year before we get any, if we get any at all?
I think it probably will be next year. I think they're using them as kind of gap fillers, aren't they? We're having our usual releases with the films and everything to coincide with this and that. So I think they're going to save it for like an in-betweener, I think. Hopefully they bring some more out. It was nice that they've thought outside the box and brought Nihilus out and such. Even Thrawn, but I know he coincided with Rebels, but no, I'd definitely like to see Revan. I know you'd wet yourself if we did. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. It was my same thoughts when somebody mentioned a Jedi rework as well. Such, I think we probably are going to get one at some point, but it's going to be after the movie releases and after the new characters. Yeah. It's going to be at some time next year.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. All right, next question for Warrior. This is from Thane Kyrell. What changing with Zetas do you think would make Phoenix Arena hat viable? They are so hard to gear. I wish I could use them more. What do you think? They're worried about Zetas and what would help them.
I don't really even know what they would need other than more damage. But to make them arena viable, really, I mean, they say hat viable or arena viable?
Both hat and arena viable.
Borderline hat viable. They really are. They're kind of like the clones. There's a little bit missing from what they need, but they're just not quite dealing quite enough damage. They've got the kit, so in theory they're perfect, but the kit's just not playing out as well. So I think if you just take everything they do already, but just boost everything they're doing now to the next level, I think it would change it. So they're doing decent damage, but they need to do great damage. They're doing decent protection recovery, but they need to do better protection recovery. You need to have the ability, I think, more than one character they do things like daze and stun. Like if you kill Zeb, the team kind of falls apart, or if you kill Hera, the team kind of falls apart. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. Honestly, that's one reason why I'm glad I'm not, in Capital Games and having to build this, because I wouldn't even know where to start. Because the team, in theory, on paper, is phenomenal right now, as is. And by the way, they're one of the best territory battle teams in existence.
Oh, yeah.
So it's hard because I use them in territory battles, which is the first time I've taken them out and dusted them off and played with them, and they're phenomenal. So I'm a little bit awestruck that they're not as good in the heroic AAT. They're okay. They're, like I said, they're just. It seems like all their stats are just not quite good enough for heroic.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and with the Zetas, we talked on it previously. We just depends on what they do with the Zetas and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can go with that. All right, Bella, next question from our girl Keyboard. She wants to know, why do you think that legendary event characters unlock at 5 stars? Why do you think that is, Miss Bella? That's what Keyboard wants to know.
Why? Oh.
Yeah, why? Why do you think that legendary event characters unlock at 5 stars?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you have to look how this game is built. You have 1 star, 2 star, 3, 4, and the highest is 5 star. So when I started to play, 5 star was far away in the beginning, but eventually you got there and you could get 5 star characters. So it seems to be, we don't have 6 star characters, the ones we farm. I think that 5 star is just it's the high.
It's perfect, right? Yeah, it's a perfect spot to you get a 5 star if you can. That gives you a chance to play with the character, right? And if you can get them 6 or 7, and you can do some stuff with them at 5 stars. Especially with gear and mods. I mean, I think it's a good spot to 5 star because there are some characters like we talked about. You unlock them at 3 or 4 stars unless you spend a fortune. You can't do anything with them. So I think that's a perfect.
And the ones you unlock doing events are usually really special characters. It's not like the ordinary farm. So they should be 5 stars or more, but we don't have higher ones. 145 shards is the highest we have to unlock a character.
Yeah, well, Bella, let me throw this at you. When do you think they're going to put a Darth Ranger and Darth Bella character into the game as a team?
That would be good. We would have so much synergy.
I know. Unlimited power!
Yes.
Let's see. Next question for Mike. This is from Jumpin' Joey. With the changing meta, will Chase, Basin Turret, fall out of favor, or will they be a staple? Ooh. What do you think about old Chase? I still think they're very much a part of the meta. I don't think they're going to be dropping out anytime soon. They're so damn good.
They are. I mean, I face Chase in arena still, even with the way the meta's changed. I think they'll always, unless, I think they're so difficult to get to 7 star that, and most people were striving for that. I know there's a lot of 7 stars in the game, but there's a lot more without them. Everyone's striving for them because they're so good, and I really hope that the devs don't mess with that, because it's kind of like one of those targets. It's a celebration. Like 7-star invader. It is though, isn't it?
I know.
In actual fact, I think you can 7-star Vader before you can 7-star Bates.
I know. It's just crazy.
So yeah.
Well, we'll see. So, I think they're going to be a staple for a while still. I don't see them jumping out anytime soon.
No.
Yeah. All right, next question for Turbo. Are you there, Turbo, and ready to answer a question?
Turbo is here. Present.
Okay. This is from our boy Captain Blackbeard. Arr. Question.
Arr.
Does Gear 12ing a character add anything to the ship for said character? I haven't noticed a difference. That's a good question.
Depends on the tune, doesn't it? It's a bit like we had the dispute about the one Zeta doesn't add anything to Tarkin, but the second Zeta does. It depends on the tune, doesn't it?
How long did we talk about that? For like an hour that night? Oh, Lord in heaven.
It depends on the tune, doesn't it? You will definitely get some sort of stat boost, whether it be a small bit of damage or power or whatever, but with regards to speed, it varies from tune to number of gear, I believe.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I'm sure there's going to be a source.
Yeah, some ships it does
sure
add.
Source
Yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
I've Gear 12'd a few crew members recently. First Order TIE Pilot didn't gain any speed. Poe Dameron's X-Wing gained 1. So my X-Wing's now at 193. Tarkin, I believe, gained 1 speed when I Gear 12'd my Tarkin, and then the second one I got was through, as Turbs just said, the kind of like the last Omega that you'd give to Tarkin, the additional 3% turn meter gain 1. But that, yeah. So I think Maul gained 1 speed as well.
So some do, some don't. There you go. All right. All right. Back to the top to Warrior. This is from Jumpin' Joey. He says, I have a double tank rebel team with Lando, Stormtrooper Han, Old Ben, and Biggs. So who's more viable for this 5th spot on this team, Chert or Akbar? And he said, yes, I am working on my wedge.
I would do probably for now, if you're not running Akbar as the leader, then I would probably do Chirrut. If those are my 2 choices.
Makes sense. All right, let me see here. Well,
There's actually an Akbar lead squad on my arena shard, which is very, very tough to beat. It's actually quite a good squad.
With who?
Akbar lead with the usual. So it's Leia. With Leia, R2, Luke, and is his 4th? It's GK. And it's very tough because of all the passive attacks from when Leia does a stealth, and obviously when R2 does the stealth, they get going very, very quickly. If you don't hit them right and target the right person at the beginning, it's good night Vienna.
I've run that with Raid Han, Leia, Fats, and R2. So there's no taunt whatsoever.
You said the naughty word. You said the naughty word.
I'm sorry.
It's not
sorry.
Fats.
It's Dusty Bin, isn't it? Oh,
Bella's present. It's not Fats.
Sorry. Fulcrum.
Bella, he said a naughty word. I caught him on it.
Thank you.
All right, we'll start with War again, but this is a question for all. This is from Pedro Khan. He said, will there ever make a ship raid? He said it's so boring they need to do something. What do you think, War? We'll go around. This is for everybody. Ship raid. Do they need to make a separate ship raid, like, with like Heroic Rancor or AT? I guess is what he's kind of asking, to do something with ships.
I think they will. I'm not sure at some point whether it's going to be integrated into another aspect of another raid or what, but I think at some point it will happen.
They need to do something with ships, guys. I mean, my goodness. I mean, it's so stale. I mean, that's my opinion, but I mean, how do you guys... I mean, ships is... I hate to say it, but I mean, it's really stale at the moment.
It requires a ton of investment.
Yes.
And, and yeah, like you say, you've got the same thing pretty much within territory battles as your ship arena. Yeah, no, I agree. We need something more or a galactic war with ships, or a half and half or something. We need something that basically makes us use ships more.
Right. I mean, yeah, they're part of territory battles, but I mean, even the territory battles fights are like, go ships. Okay, I win. Okay, move on. I mean, it's just nothing to it. Go ahead, Bella.
But they could change a further territory battle. I'm just I haven't heard anything. I don't know anything. This is just my idea.
Sure.
Yeah, we were talking about the Death Star like many times, right? So we could have a Death Star territory battle, and it could be reversed. Like we have more ship battles than the other battles, or even number. But the problem, I think, is that we don't have so many ships as characters. That was always the argument for why we don't have raids yet. I mean, we get every now and then a new ship, but it's not like the toons. We get much more toons same time. And they are sadly not farmable like Kylo.
Kylo Ren.
And what was the other one?
Was it Captain
the
Hanso,
TIE Reaper and
Cassian.
Oh yeah,
Cassian's.
How farmable, yeah.
So with BB-8 coming in, that will be 3 Astro droids that will be in game now, won't it? Maybe that's the thing there, where when the ship enhancements that have been locked from day one, when whatever goes in there comes out, maybe that's when ships will become a bit more interesting.
GK will get his R4 as well.
Other than another thing that hasn't been mentioned, I mean, was the mad day of AI a couple of days ago.
Oh yeah.
That struck me when I was actually trying to climb up for my payout, and going against the 211 speed Tarkin wasn't fun.
I ended up coming across a squad with a General Grievous in it, and he hit me for 55k.
Oh, is that all?
Killed me.
My ships just got annihilated. It was quite depressing.
Yeah, that was not a fun day. Let's see. Next question is for Darth Bella. This is from our friend Grim, and he wants to know, why do you think CG are so anti-dark side? Seems like they really are, Bella. They're really cramping our style with our dark side.
Yes, but they have to decide for one side for the territory battles, right? Because that is the story, their idea of territory battles, that you can't mix anymore, except for ships, as was already mentioned here and there, where we could use in deployment, we can use dark side ships, and not in deployment in platoons.
Yeah.
But you have to be one side, and I mean, it has. I think for the first territory battle, I think it's actually cool they went for Rebels, because that's what Star Wars was all about when it started.
I want more evil.
We'll get the evil side.
I want power.
Patience.
I
We'll
don't
get the evil side.
What I put forward is, why do we need rebels and a resistance when the dark side are so weak?
How dare you?
But what are they rebelling against? Because they're walking all over the dark side.
Oh,
surely
yeah,
the dark side.
Mike, Mike.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Bella, go Force Lightning, Mike. Just do it. Force choking something.
Oh.
I don't know, but yeah, Darkseid is kind of in the pooper right now. But hopefully, we'll see Darkseid come back. I'm hoping, because some of us like to play those characters just even in this game. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, they're a little behind the curve right now. All right, Mike. Next question. This is from Teals. Question: I have a well-built Rogue One team. Should I drop my next Zeta on Jin to make it very powerful for territory battles, or should I just finish gearing Resistance, Gear 8 and Gear 9, and do Finn? That's a great question.
That is, as I said earlier, I'm not very good with Resistance, but I personally I would put it onto Finn,
yes,
rather
I agree.
than Jin.
You can get away with Jin Omega.
Yeah,
because Rogue One's really good, but to make Resistance work, you got to have that Zeta. You really do.
You do, yeah. I mean, the resistance doesn't work really without it. So, yeah, that's imperative one, I would say.
Yeah,
yes,
that's good. I lean that way too. I think you got to do Finn, Resistance, Gear 8, Gear 9, keep working on them. I mean, because Rogue One, you mean, it's a tough choice, though.
It's phonetics. You still got a Z.
Funny question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say that if he's got his Zeta now, Jin is great. Zin is great, and you've only got your resistance at what, Gear 8? Won't you have another Zeta by the time you've gotten to Gear 10, 11 anyway?
Yeah, might as well.
If you've got the Zeta ready now, I'd shove it on Zin because it'll really help territory battles, and don't forget you've got the special Rogue One mission, and it just really helps the protection recovery. And like you say, on the flip side, on the back burner, get them to Gear 8, then when you've got them all to Gear 10 and Gear 11, you'll have another Zeta, then you can do Finn. They're both very good, and both very usable. If you've got it ready now, putting it on Finn now won't really do a lot for territory battles.
Yeah, see, for me, the reason I Zeted my Finn was because my guys are Gear 10, right? Except for Pilot, I think is Gear 8, but I'm going to use R2D2 until I get her to Gear 10. So that's the only reason why I'm doing it that way. It's a tough call, but I personally think Finn. But if you got a really powerful Rogue One team and Jin will put you over the top, I mean, I don't know. Your gear on your resistance is kind of low. Maybe you do wait till you get them higher gear, and then you can get another Zeta to put it on Finn. All right, so next question for Turbo. This is from Notorious Drac Knight.
Oh, I've come up the stairs and I need
What in the hell is...
Shut up.
What?
Thank you.
What? What is happening? What is going on?
I've retired to my bedroom to broadcast.
Yeah. And
I was asked prior to said retirement, would I like a drink when one's being made? She's just come to collect my cup to refill it, to realise that there isn't a cup here to refill. And I was told to go forth.
Yeah, I heard what she said. I was like, what is going on there? Good Lord. What is up with your family, man? They just like cuss and live stream all the time. Was that the missus?
That was Sweary daughter's mother, yes.
I wonder where she gets it from.
It's a mystery, isn't it? I still need to work it out where it's coming from. Yeah.
Just to do me a favor, just have a little chat with the family. Let's get together. When I'm streaming with Ranger, the F-bombs have got to stop. You know.
You encouraged it though. You said that she was your favourite, and they latched on.
Wait. When did I ever say that? You're just making stuff up.
30 seconds after. I think that's when you could finally speak again.
Yeah. All right. Next question for Turbo. If we don't have any more, if Mike doesn't get punched in the face by his wife. Notorious Drac Knight asks, what do you guys think of a creature arena? I.e. Wampa versus Ackley kind of thing. What do you think, Turbo? Turbo? Is he doing this on purpose, Mike?
No, sorry. I'm at the bakery. What?
Hey, up, Turbo.
I wasn't listening.
What is going on?
I've got the kids saying that I want a croissant, I want a yum yum.
What?
Sorry, what was the question?
I'm going to kill you and Mike, I swear. Okay, the question is, what do you guys think of a creature arena, i.e. Wampa versus Ackley kind of thing?
What was that again? I missed that. I heard you, I didn't get it.
Okay. What do we think of a creature arena, i.e. like a Wampa versus an Ackley, etc., like creatures fighting one another? From the Star Wars
Creature arena?
Yeah, creature arena.
It sounds fun, but for people people strive to collect characters and get characters.
Yeah, I don't really see it because I don't know. I mean, they could. I think you're kind of thinking of episode 2 kind of thing.
Sorry.
What? What is happening? We're being invaded by children and wives, and what is happening? What is... Oh. Kill all of you. Bella, go force lightning all of them. I'm sick of it. Go forth, my young apprentice. All right. Let's see here. Last question to Warrior. This is from... Oh, Lord. It's from Infinity Warrior. Okay. All right, Warrior. CG posted that they were... Okay, this seems like this is a legit question. Let's hold on. CG posted that they are working on adding more guild management tools for officers and leaders of guilds. What is the one thing that each of you would like to see the most added for territory battle management? What do you think, Warrior, about that question? That's actually a real question. What's happening with Finn?
Yeah, and I don't do leadership, so I don't know what would be best for leadership to have to make it better. I don't do and won't do leadership in a game anymore.
Yeah, I think we both talked about that.
Burned by that once before, so I am just a player. I just play the game and I just have fun, and so I'm sure there's a ton of enhancements they could do to help the guild out. I think before we focus on territory battles, we should probably focus on just the basic functionality of guilds, which is like the 600, timer ticker, Ian Wright and stuff. I mean, like that's like the most fundamental, and that's been a problem forever. So maybe focus on that first, and then once that's resolved, then we can worry about territory battles. But I'm sure that there's a lot that could be done for territory battles to help with all the stats. Who's done what missions in which in which phase, and what they're deploying out. I mean, I'm having to tell them how much I'm deploying, and how many missions have been completed, and it would be nice to be divvied out per phase, things like that. But I don't know. I think it would take a leader to really be able to answer that properly.
Mm-hmm. What about the rest of the panel? What do you guys think? What do you think we'll start with you, Mike. What do you think would be a good tool if you had a request?
An easier way to see who hasn't done their combat missions.
That's a good one.
You've because the combat. Okay, so I've not fully grasped all the mechanics of the scoring, but my understanding is that the combat missions add to your overall scores, so increase the star rating before you even start to deploy your troops. Am I right in that? Mm-hmm. It's adding score. So ideally, you want all 50 combat missions completed before you deploy to know and ensure that you're economic with your deployment. Yes. As you're climbing up your GP in your guild, this is important. This is stars, and stars, give you the extra shards that you need for Rolo and so on and so forth. So just that in itself, okay. that would be where I would.
Turbo, Bella, anything you guys would want to add?
Not presently.
Oh, Turbo's fighting the good fight with the kids. Lord.
Can I have a smiley face donut?
Oh, Lord. What?
Smiley face donut.
Just, Mike, be quiet. You're on a timeout, Mike. 5 minutes. Turbo, you too. 5 minutes. Jesus. Anything you'd like to add, Miss Bella?
Yeah. And the question, I got a bit lost.
There's one thing you'd like to, I know with the chaos.
What I like to add.
One thing that you would like to see for guild management for territory battles that make it a little bit easier for officers.
Yeah, I think it's been said. Or what I would like as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think all
see the missions and stuff.
Yeah,
because then you can kind of look out for the guys who didn't do their missions, but now it's just guessing or manual work.
I agree. A lot of Excel spreadsheets floating around. That's all I got to say. All right, so that's it for questions. Oh my God, 2 hours later we got through all the questions. Yay! All right, so let's do what we always do, which is we go around and first of all, thank everybody for the questions. Very much appreciated. And thanks for everybody for being in the chat and participating. Remember, tonight we're going to do our 10 o'clock show, 10 p. Eastern. Me, Grande, Loki, kind of around doing GW. That's been a question we've been getting, so we're going to go through GW, look at some of the teams and stuff like that for Galactic War. So this is the time of the show where we go around and pimp our stuff. So we'll start with Warrior. Warrior, where can people check you out at, buddy?
Find me on Facebook, Warrior Presents.
There you go. And Warrior, thank you for not having kids or, fights or, true professional. This is what I like. And, speaking of another true professional.
It sounded like that. I just came to work, so.
I know. That's how you're able to do it. Now, Bella, where can folks check you out? What do you got going on?
Yeah, I still work on my channel. I have had a break with the interviews now, but I think I will start again.
Yay!
Because it was very time intense.
I'll bet.
I think I could have done like 50 or 100 arena videos instead, and so I can't do it as a full-time job, but it is fun to do it. But if it's too much, then it's not good either. So I will continue, and you find me at Darth Bella YouTube. I think it's in the description of this stream.
That's right.
And thanks for having me. It was great to be on the show.
We love having you. Let's see. All right, I'm going to give these two knuckleheads another shot. Mike, can we avoid any fighting or your wife screaming at you so you can pimp your stuff?
Yes, I have my cup of tea now. So yes, okay. the air is fairly safe.
Okay.
I have a channel. It's Mike Hunt, Mike space Hunt.
Yes, make sure you spell that correctly.
Yep. Otherwise, you get onto a very interesting channel. Yeah. and careful if you Google me.
Oh no.
But other than that, I'm doing. I'm in BHG Reloaded with Turbs. We're having fun in territory battles. I'm doing those. I believe I'm doing a collab with Marky at the moment, which I'm looking forward to. Other than that, it's just general me playing the game, and everything's recorded as it happens. So there's no kind of like reviews and then commentary. So it's all me and my experiences in game, and it can be quite funny. You get some rants, and occasionally you even get something that might even be useful information wise.
Well, that's the most important thing.
Come check me out, and everybody is linked in all my descriptions. So if you haven't found Reality Skewed Gamers or Turbs, just check my descriptions and the links are there. Thank you for having me.
All right. And finally, before we get so Riemann, we got to figure out what's going on to him and try to get him fixed. But you can check out Riemann. He's part of the Alliance. They've got their own stream that they usually do Fridays or Saturday, depending on their schedules. So you can check them out there. The link for them is there as well. And then Turbo, where can the good folks check you out at when you're not fighting kids or traveling to Manchester and hen parties and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'll put them on a timeout. So I've got a channel, Turbs. If you struggle to find me, it's Turbs, and you just add SWGOH. I will shove straight to the top. I've been on a bit of a hiatus recently. I've not posted a lot, but when I finally get these kids under control, I might find some time to post some stuff. But I just love hanging out with you guys. I love playing like the rest of us, and you guys keep watching this stream because we all have fun and we love bringing you the latest stuff and entertaining you guys. So thanks for having us, Ranger, as well.
Absolutely. And then finally for us, of course, this is the Reality Skewed Gamers. This is the channel you're on, the Jedi Academy. We stream several days a week. Wednesday's usually our stream where they keep dropping bombs on us right during the stream. but yeah, we can we stream on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern with all the latest news and notes and things like that. The good news is Grande Patron, he's unretired. He's back in the WWE. The RSG crew is whole again. Saturdays, of course, if you're here, this means you're here for the Jedi Academy, which we run from 10 a.m. Eastern to whenever we end it. And then, of course, we're bringing back late night, which is at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that'll just be us where we're really, it's gameplay, answering your questions, but delving into, from the questions, actually going into the game and looking at stuff for you guys and just hanging out and having fun. That's really the main focus of what we're doing there. So you can check that out tonight. It'll be me, Loki, and Grande. Finn probably will be there trolling, being a turd like he always is. But yeah, thank you for joining us. Now, for everybody here, in the chat, we appreciate you being here. Support all these guys. They take the time out of their busy schedules of fighting kids and cussing wives and Bella plotting to take over the universe. I mean, they've got busy schedules and, they put out content, so go to Warrior's page, go to Tur's page, go to Mike's page, go to Bella's page. Give them the support, subscribe to the channels. That's how, that helps them with their channels to grow and helps the community grow. And they've got a lot of great content out there and stuff. And the same thing for us. Give us a thumbs up, give us the support, subscribe. We love constructive feedback, so, that's how we can get better. We want to be better for you guys. So we appreciate everybody coming out on a Saturday. For everybody in the U.S., go watch your college teams play. And then for everybody in the UK, I don't know what you guys are doing in Europe. I guess drinking tea and fighting with family. I don't know what the hell's going on. But thanks, everybody, for stopping by. We'll check you out tonight. And if we don't hear from you tonight, then we will see you next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern when we do the regular Star Wars Galaxy Heroes stream. We put out the latest news and notes for you guys and break it all down and what it all means. So on behalf of myself and the crew here, thanks for stopping by, and we'll check you out later.